3 shooters killed at least 22 people and wounded 16. The information about the mass shooting at training ground in Belgorod region was made public by Russian Telegram channels. According to their data, the shooters were killed on the spot by return fire, and one managed to escape. The Russian authorities are hiding the information about what is happening in military facilities. It has not been officially confirmed that the shooting was committed by the citizens of Tajikistan. They were summoned from Moscow. In September, the Kremlin has implemented a clever plan to issue citizenship under a simplified procedure for those foreigners who will sign a contract for military service. The version of the Russian Ministry of Defense about the terrorist attack has not yet been confirmed. Rather, it's a domestic conflict. One of the versions is based on the Russian chauvinism. A banal situation occurred that is happening in all army units, when 3-4 conscripts of Asian nationality get into the same draft with the Slavs. They begin to call Chucks humiliated and insulted. But the Russian edition, according to the words of the eyewitness of the incident, assures that the conflict occurred on religious ground. It all started with the fact that some of the soldiers from Muslim countries said that this is not our war and tried to write a report that they no longer want to serve. Lieutenant Colonel Andrei Lapin began to say that this is the holy war. The Tajiks told in response that the holy war is the war when Muslims are at war with the infidels. Lapin said that the Allah is a coward if he does not allow you to fight for the country to which you took the oath. And a half hour later, Lieutenant Colonel paid for his words not only with his life. 3 Tajiks who were on the contract service deployed their machine guns with live ammunition and shot commander. Lieutenant Colonel Lapin died on the spot. After, they opened fire indiscriminately at the training ground where there were both contractors and mobilized. From this source, the dead were counted to 29 men. The 30th Lieutenant Colonel and the 2 more are Tajiks who fired. We still don't know the accurate numbers of dead because Ministry of Defense is not telling information about the casualties at the war and the military units, of course. According to the source of publication, there were 3 attackers. They were distinguished by their religiosity and quarreled with the command that it did not allow them to perform prayer on time. 2 were shot by ensign. The 3rd was wounded in the shoulder and disappeared from the training ground. He just ran out through the hole in the fence and still on the run. The Russian Defense Ministry no longer reports about the events that took the life of at least 20 people. Against the background of the tens of thousands of Russian deaths in Ukraine, shooting at the fire range is truly a drop in the ocean. My opinion, if you give man a weapon, be kind with him and don't insult him or distinguish him by religiosity or any other kind. This stupid commander was used to no one contradicting him, and this is the result. He met those peoples who were not agreed with his thoughts, and a lot of people died because of that, and the mobilized didn't even get to the front. A Russian Su-35 fighter jet crashed and killed 15 people. It crashed into the 9-story residential building in the Yeysk. On the evening of October 17th, the Russian Su-34 fighter jet, which had taken off from the local airfield a few minutes earlier, fell in the residential area for some unknown reason. 15 people were killed, including 3 children, and almost 24 people were injured. When the plane crashed, it broke through the wall of the apartment building, after which the flames destroyed several dozen apartments. Residents of almost the entire house had to be evacuated. A local resident thought the Yeysk was under fire, like another Russian city on the border with Ukraine, Belgorod. Similar feelings were experienced by the other residents of the affected house. I thought that the rocket had arrived, and I thought so, says the resident of the entrance number 7 in the same house. There was such a roar, everything trembled. Well, we think something has fallen. We looked at the road, it's clean. At the neighbors' windows, we look, everything burns and explodes. We didn't think the plane had crashed. An airplane, especially a combat one, is a source of increased danger. Its maintenance is handled by the Ministry of Defense, as well as its operation. Accordingly, I think it should compensate the damage caused to the people. People not even stuttering about the moral compensation yet, but now they should compensate because they destroyed several dozens of apartments. Now the wreckage of the plane has been already removed from the crash site. Some of them had to be removed from the destroyed apartments. Residents of the affected house are not allowed inside yet. until the decision of the special commission. The ex-residents organized a spontaneous memorial in front of the house. From early morning, people bring flowers and toys to it. "This is our common grief. Everyone is close here now," says one of the local residents. "It's sad. Why people should suffer because of the wishes of one little president? These planes are really old and not supposed to be flied. Now government have to reactivate the old planes because they lost all new planes. All the other planes have been lost in the war, and now they have to reactivate the old ones. And the old ones are falling on the houses with people that just live a normal life and don't want to be any part of this war." The pilot of the plane to be mobilized was directly removed from the flight from Russia to Turkey. Passengers have to wait several hours while the backup pilot was traveling to the airport. The flight delay was 9 hours and 28 minutes. The co-pilot received a summons but ignored it. So the military enlistment office came for him directly to the airport. They were supposed to take off at the 5 a.m., but they took off only at the 2 p.m. They waited in the plane for the 2 hours at first. Then they were all dismissed to their hotels. There was an announcement on the speakerphone. "Due to the mobilization and subsequent prohibition of crossing the border for the co-pilot, takeoff is cancelled. We ask you to leave the plane." Hit the like, subscribe for more, comment down below what you think about that, share it with your friends. This was Alex Gray, and goodbye.